This spring, Focus Outdoors headed to Lake Erie to fish for big walleyes, which Erie is known for. When we were making plans, we were told to get in touch with the people with Island Club at Put-in Bay. And they told us they were the best at helping with the accommodations, and they were right. When we chatted with them, they also informed us about the history of the area, such as first ship-to-shore radio broadcast and the battle that Oliver Perry won, which is commemorated today by a 350-foot tall column that is a peace memorial. This trip did take a turn for the worse when Mother Nature decided to bring a spring storm in, so we had to do a little indoor work, but we did it with the great people from Reef Runner Lures, which was not only informative, but a lot of fun. So stay tuned for this epic trip to Erie with Focus Outdoors.
Hey, Dennis Foster here with Focus Outdoors TV. Literally just rolled into town mid-April, western basin of Lake Erie, Port Clinton, Marblehead area where Scott Staker's out of, the owner and proprietor of Reef Runner Lures. And quite frankly, I'm here to get lures, information, and advice. And with that, a little history. You've told me some of it, but I think it's interesting for our viewers is how you got started, how it's progressed, and where you're at today.
Boy, I appreciate you coming. It's good to see you. It's been a long way from out in the Dakotas to come all the way to here. But it's the walleye capital of the world. It's big fish time here on Erie in mid-April. And we got started years ago. And, I got started out, with the old creepy crawler sets and hand whittling jigs and just making stuff to catch anything.
How old were you when you started that?
Oh, I think my mom hid my tin soldier mold on me when I was about 7 or 8. So we were making lead soldiers on a burn plate down in the basement.
Okay.
And we'd make jigs and actually mold or melt lead on this little.
So you're melting your soldiers down for jigs.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And,
that's good use.
Yeah, and doing that stuff. So it was
fish, not war.
Oh yeah, that's good. It was good. But and we had the old plastic creepy crawler sets where you made your own plastic stuff, and I don't think they'd sell those today. I mean, it's bad. But started back then, and then a gentleman wanted to make, was making weight forward spinners, making Reef Runner lures, and they were, they looked like this, and they were just back in the day here, back in the, late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, it was all a weight forward casting bite. Mm-hmm. And then the water cleared up. Things went from a casting bite to a more trolling bite.
Right.
And so from that point on, I taught high school biology at the time, coached high school football, still went and guided. I guided for 15 years out here and saw the changes coming and thought, what, I wonder if I could develop a couple lures that would also, troll out here, catch fish, but, caught a lot of heck because at that time people didn't like trollers, and now
I suppose they looked down their nose.
Oh, they were. It was bad.
Okay.
It was a war. And so since then, everything happened that, the crankbait thing started. I whittled out some baits. A couple tournaments were won. Actually, first tournaments were out in, I think, Hawaii. First one.
I think Brumbaugh was one of them.
Yeah.
And he taught us about our suspended fish.
Yeah, and then that started happening and came back here. So, Reef Runners took off, and we've done the color thing ever since. And, I've done very well with that, and also regionally, specifically done colors. Basically when you start out, and we start out with something, is you get an idea. So, I had an idea of making something different, not just a straight crankbait like they've been out there. So I put a pattern down, cut it out in wood, and basically go from there. You whittle it out a little bit. I've got a lot of stuff in a junk pile that, we've just burned because it just doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And once you get something pretty much to where you want it, then you can start going to a whittled bait complete. So what we do with these is, this is the original ripstick.
That's what I found interesting.
That I didn't want to really catch a fish with it because I didn't want it to pull apart, and but I wanted to see how it ran. So threw it in a farm pond, threw it off the docks, adjusted things a little bit to where I thought it needed to be to catch fish, and from that point take it to a tool builder, and then the excitement starts, the money starts. But it's kind of like farming. You plant a seed in the ground, you hope it grows, mm-hmm. You hope it comes to fruition. How much you're going to get for it? Is the weather going to be good? It's just, I call it lure farming. And then you bring it to a mold builder, and they make two halves. And once those two halves are complete, we've got some ladies glue them together with split rings and stuff to hang hooks, rattles, and so forth. And then you get a paint job where they're all hand painted, airbrushed, clear coated, and then we hook and package them. So we've got an array of colors, but there are multiple steps. And people ask me, how long does it take to make one? Well, it's like on boats, you can't just make one. Right. You make one at a time, several times over during the day. So we might make 1,000 fire tiger at once, all white, mm-hmm. all chartreuse, greenback.
One thing you touched on too is this is all domestic. You're not shipping this stuff over, and for a lot of you folks, to me, that's important. So if you're overly price conscientious, whatever, there's guys like Scott out here that still truly make this stuff in the United States. Just keep that.
Midwest Gun Dog Kennels is your full-time gun dog training facility. For over 30 years, we've customized our training to fit each individual gun dog. We know it takes a well-trained gun dog to handle wild birds to make every hunting trip a dream trip. Let Midwest Gun Dog Kennels put excitement back into your hunt of a lifetime. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels, where experience equals excellence.
No matter the size, age, or activity level of your best friend, you want a dog food that's natural, feeds great, and is full of all the goodness you demand. That's what we pack into every bag of Country Vet Naturals. Country Vet Naturals are just what the name says, natural goodness in every bag. We also make grain-free cat and dog food and treats. Learn more and find a dealer at countryvetnaturals.com. Country Vet Naturals, loved by pets, trusted by owners.
Well, as you might be able to tell, I spend a lot of time behind the shotgun. Whether it's at the clay target fields, sporting clays fields, doing exhibitions, or bird hunting, I always trust my shooting skills to the Rio Elites. Not only for the lighter recoil, but as you can tell, the harder hitting, consistent patterns. These clay targets don't stand a chance when you shoot Rio Elite.
Make your next day on the water even better with Airwave Pedestal, the only air suspension system that can be custom adjusted to the weight of the rider. No unreliable springs, no oil-filled shocks to leak. Our patented design utilizes a two-stage suspension system to smooth out the roughest ride, while limiting travel to an industry-leading 2 inches. This boating season, enjoy your time on the water to the fullest. Find out how at airwavepedestal.com.
One thing I wanted to touch on is tuning of crankbaits, and quite frankly, I think the reef runners have gotten a bad rap over the years on that. They're not that tough to tune. You obviously know how to do it, and I'll let you take over.
Well, in a crankbait's life, no matter who it is, if it's a reef runner, if it's Rapala, if it's Berkeley, if it's whoever, every lure has to be tuned. And the hardest part, and the worst thing about tuning is a rubber net, and nets, because you got big fish in the net. You got one hook in its mouth, you got one hook in the net, and you're flopping it in the boat, and there goes a torque on the bait, and it's knocked out of tune.
And that's something I was going to touch on.
Yeah.
If the lure's catching big fish, it may get knocked out. So
That's right.
The lure did its job. You just need to fix him up
on the floor. So what I look at when I'm tuning the bait is make sure that when you put a bait in the water first, you get enough lead line out, maybe 6-8 foot, and you're putting it beside the boat. Don't put it back behind. A lot of people want to put it behind the boat,
you're gonna get
and you're going to get in that
wash
prop
and-
wash, and it's not even going to be close to where it needs to be tuned. The neat thing about tuning is you can use a pair of pliers if you want, but a lot of guys tend to think this. So if you've got a crankbait, especially a deep diving crankbait, this eyelet in the front needs to be lined up perfectly down the center line of a bait. So what you do not want to do first is take and grab it with a pair of pliers and twist it. You do not want to twist that thing right or left. What you want to do is make sure that's on the center line, and what you want to do is if the bait is running, let's say, away from you on the boat. So if you're in this side of the boat and it's here and it's walking out away from you, so if it's running to the right, let's say, you very slightly want to take this and just fold it over. So you're really taking this and folding it this
More
way.
the top half.
The top,
Right.
and just folding it this way and bringing it so it runs more to the
Versus
left.
what most guys do, they'll actually put an
Cannot-
angle into
you
it.
can't do the angle at
And
all.
I think that's where a lot of guys come with the
Yep.
problem. They think, well, I just worked on that thing and I could not make it run
Right.
right. Well, you're twisting it every
Yep,
way
it's
but the
not
right
this way or this
Yep.
way. It's folding it left or right. And one of the things we've done, we've made a tool. It's called a tuna fish. And the easiest thing to do, you can put it in your fingers and just lay it straight on top. So once you've got it straight on the top,
You can't screw it up.
you can't screw it up. So now you've got to go this way or this way. You can't twist it. So now on top, you either bend it a little bit to the right if it's running left, and the left if it's running right. Put it back in the water, pull it, and if you can actually, if you're running 1.5, 2, 2.5, whatever, pull it gently forward. If it tracks straight, you're good to go.
Yep.
Now, if you put a crawler on it, little say on a crankbait, always put a crawler, a piece of it on the bottom hook. Anything you do to change it, make sure you retune it. And every time you put it out, run it, tune it again, make sure it's straight, set it back out, and you're good to go.
All right, we've been talking about a little history in the past and how you got here, little lure design type stuff. Basically, I want to talk about present and future because I'm going to hit the water this afternoon,
Yep.
the next few days, and I'm not here just to pump you for lures. I'm here to pump you for information. What's been working for the guys color-wise?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's so hard, when you come into a place, and just have no clue.
Yeah, for me, it's blind.
Yeah, so bait shops are one good thing. Obviously, lure manufacturers that are home lakes right here in their backyard is another, but you got to have friends, the networking part of it. But
Exactly.
as a general rule of thumb, the one on the end there is pink lemonade. It's a color we did years ago. It's still like one of our top producers day in, day out, no matter what conditions
part of the
are.
country.
Any
It's
part
a
of the
good one
country.
for us.
Yeah, pink lemonade's been great. Some dark water situations and even in clear water situations now, we'll go to anything purples and pinks.
Which we've alluded to earlier.
Yeah, so that color's purple nurple. Night vision with the chartreuse and the black dots is a very good color, when it comes to dark water fishing. And also, we've developed a new color this year, which is fruit stripe, which a friend of mine, Mike Robertson, gave to me. Very good in muddy water. You wouldn't think so. Why? I have no clue because there's no fish striped like that.
No.
But
This isn't a match hat.
yeah, no, it's not a match one. But that one's very good in muddy water. And also is white zebra, the next one over, and that color came from your way. Lake Oahe out there, they like the whites out that
Yep.
way. So it's a really good muddy water color. Whites are always that good. And if you get a chance, when you get out in the open water, and if it clears up again,
Go back to your
go back to a
basics.
blue Hawaiian chrome, chrome blue, chrome black, and also, the clear lures. Like this is my favorite lure. If I was going to take one lure on a boat, it's Pearl Ghost. It's got that bare naked insert in it, but it has the white, a little bit of red in it. If guys want to take, magic markers and mark them up a little bit, they can put extra dots. But I mean, you can get a blue one, pink one. You can do all kinds of stuff when you have that tape, and it's kind of, UV active where you can get it in sunlight and it's pink and purple, but you get it out of sunlight, it goes to copper and gold.
Okay.
So other than that, like I said, the pearls, the whites, and especially the dark colors in dark water. But, sometimes you have to go just to something as gaudy as you can get and as bright as you can get in a muddy water. Just to, they hone in on vibration.
And I've seen it too.
A little bit on sound.
On a tough day, just throw something goofy out
and
there.
even some glow. Guys got glow stuff and they're putting glow dots on them.
Yep.
Simple as that. It helps out quite a bit.
One thing too to touch on, separate from the color thing, is the presentation things. Crankbait speeds. Too many people get stuck into 1.8 to 2 mile an hour, and that's a comfort zone, and they won't leave it.
Right.
Out here is a good lesson in pulling things super slow.
Super slow this time of year. So we're pulling these crankbaits, these reefers with big bills, down to 1.2, 1.4. And just creeping. And also, the old lead core hand pump rod too.
Yep.
When you're going that slow, just grab one rod beside, pump it forward, and just let it slide back.
Exactly.
Pump it forward, let it slide back. And even lead core with short billed baits like ripsticks or rogues or husky jerk, stuff like that, work real well when you're doing that pull technique with lead core. But a lot of different things. But in the summertime here, if you're not catching fish, our motto is go faster.
Mm-hmm.
So 2.5,
Right.
2.8, 3, 3.2, because they're going to hunt it
On
out.
the opposite end, and
Yeah.
that's something I like about your lures is they'll run at all speeds. And out here, like you said, with that big bill, they got that dig, and they're going to work even at that super slow speed.
Yeah, and super slow, and also with a fire line enhances that, and also speed-wise, depth-wise.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here. I'd like to thank Scott for all the information and for the years of support.
Oh, I
Scott's helped me out
appreciate
over
it.
the years, and it's greatly appreciated.
Oh, not a problem. You've done a great job out west, and we don't get out there that often, and it's a pleasure to have ears and eyes out there to see what's going on.
Yep,
Appreciate
give you a
it.
little feedback there.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Yeah. It's a sheephead or something, ain't it? No.
That guy?
We'll get it in. We want something. There we go. Yeah, Will guy.
Yep.
That officially is the smallest fish I've ever caught on Lake Erie.
Yeah, it's a little guy.
It's a start.
Midwest Gun Dog Kennels is your full-time gun dog training facility. For over 30 years, we've customized our training to fit each individual gun dog. We know it takes a well-trained gun dog to handle wild birds to make every hunting trip a dream trip. Let Midwest Gun Dog Kennels put excitement back into your hunt of a lifetime. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels, where experience equals excellence.
Dakota Pheasant Guide offers the best wild pheasant hunts from the Glacial Lakes area of South Dakota west to the Missouri River. Packages available include everything from self-guided to fully guided hunts. Book your bird hunting adventure now. Fishermen, iTime Promotions is your ticket to an enjoyable and successful day on the water. Call Dennis Foster for your outdoor adventure of a lifetime.
Dennis Foster here. I'd like to introduce you to the Dorado catch and release boat latch system. It's back the trailer into the water, pop the cord, and away we go. Once our day in the water is done, we simply roll the boat up onto the bunks until it achieves contact with the bow eye. It clicks securely into place. Away we go. We're exclusive partners with b2outdoors.com. That's where you're going to want to go and order your very own system. You can enter the promo code iTime Promotions and receive free shipping on your items.
When it comes to dog food and treats, you want something natural. A dog food or special reward that feeds great, is made in the USA, and helps your best friend live a long and healthy life. That's what you get with Country Vet Naturals, natural goodness in every bag. And for those of you who want grain-free, we've got that too. Find a dealer and learn more about Country Vet Naturals dog food, cat food, and treats at countryvetnaturals.com. Country Vet Naturals, loved by pets, trusted by owners.
Dang, what we're doing is feeding grass.
He was destined to go on a floor. There we go. Hey. Yep. Crossway on the side. Ready? That's better fish. Yep. That's what we came here for. Lake colors, we can tell the lake or water.
That's good. Been real tough conditions out here. 40 to 45 mile an hour winds yesterday. Basically could not fish. The water is chalked up severely, which really makes this fishing tough out here. We've done a little bit of running around, and there's just not clean water to be found. We found some water that's cleaner per se. We picked up a couple small fish. This is not a huge fish by Lake Erie standards, 23, 24 inches, but we're getting a little something dialed in here, particularly with one lure. It's a reef runner lure. Not sure what the actual nomenclature is, what he calls it, but it's a purple head with an orange body, and we've got two out. We're going to keep pumping them out. Probably put another one out here, see if we can't get in some big girls.
There we go, Jeff. Good
All right.
That fish ate it too.
Yeah. Woohoo! That's better.
I love it when a plan comes together.
That'd be it. That's that same order, 65 again.
Got the scout stick.
Yep. 3 there.
Wow. Fish is only 28 inches long, but look at the,
He's back.
yeah. There's a fucking fish. All right. We're not going to do a lot of commentary now. We just got things dialed in. We got bad weather coming. We're going to try to keep fine tuning this thing. Put a few more of these in the boat and have a good time.
Nice fish. There it is. That's the winner right there. Last 2 good fish. Both come onto that
We might
reef
have to
runner
have
right there.
6 of those out before we're sitting done.
I understand that.
Hey folks, we're going to wrap up this segment of Focus Outdoors TV. We take a lot of pride in trying to show folks the real outdoors, and this is about as real as it gets. We've got gale force winds, western basin of Lake Erie. It's actually driven the water into the western basin to the point that the water levels have risen. I'm sure Brad will show us the dock here in just a minute to demonstrate that. I'd guess a foot or better already. But it is what it is. The guys got to get out and try. Another thing that we like to showcase is we use the top quality equipment to try to put up with some of these conditions. Unfortunately, this is a bit much. With that, we're going to wrap it up. Look for a little better situation on our next show on Focus Outdoors TV.
Diesel train rolls down the line as I'm headed for the land of corn and rye. There is a place I'm always satisfied, full of remedies to ease my worried mind, like pulling catfish on the banks of Cherry Cove, watching